welcome back to welcome back to Borderline Banter and Bruce podcast, where we talk about nothing and everything. Thanks to Billy, that quote we used from the last episode or episode before that. Yeah, we're kind of picking up from last episode how we handed off to the Mandela effect, but I know there's been a lot of TikTok videos going around about things that we like clearly remember, but they've been changing. What was it that you brought up, Billy? Oh, it was the Tinkerbell.
Oh yeah. In the intro of like Disney films, whenever the castle was being built, like it used to. I remember distinctly just Tinkerbell flying in a circle, building the castle with her fucking wand, and then occasionally, and at the end, whenever she was trying to put the light at the top of the castle, her wand would stop working. She had to hit it on her hand a few times, and then eventually it started working. She got it going. Like, I remember that being a thing, but apparently it's not.
And the way that you describe it, I clearly remember it that way too.
Yeah, I do remember it that way too. But I'm trying to remember, like, was it only when it's like a VHS kind of thing when they?
I don't think it was on the like in the big screens, but I don't know if it was every one of them, but I distinctly remember seeing it like in a few of them. It might not have been an every one of the Disney film things. It could have been like a select Disney one. But
yeah, maybe. Yeah, I can honestly remember her having the one and just like having trouble with it, and then put the symbol of the eye at the end.
Yeah, right. There's other stuff going around to like the Bernstein Bears. Like I clearly remember it being spelled the other way. What's it called? Berenstein. So
Berenstein and Bernstein.
Yeah.
I just knocked that up to me not being able to spell or read very well.
I like, yeah, okay, so I guess I believe that things are changing, but our minds are not catching it sometimes. But then again, like the Mandela effect, I feel like it's kind of hard to prove.
Yeah.
But it is freaky that, that the government or anybody can be involved in changing everybody's views on things.
Yeah. I mean, have you guys played Monopoly?
Yeah.
You remember that guy had the monocle on his eye? Or
yeah, I remember he did have a monocle.
I was looking at it and I could see it both ways. And I was like, I don't know if I remember it having a monocle or not having a monocle. just like Pikachu's tail, with the tip of its tail being black. Like, I look at it and I'm like, black, right? I look at it and I'm like, did it? Was it the?
Yeah, because I had a stuffed animal or a stuffed plushie from like when Pokemon first came out, and yeah, it had it didn't have the same design, but the tip was just black. But everything else was like normal. Is it supposed to be black, or is Pikachu like have the tail yellow at the end?
It's like the way it is right now is there's no black at the end of the tail. It's solid yellow.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's weird. Then yeah, the plushie I wish I had a picture of it, but I had a black stain at the end.
And what's funny is like when you look at it side by side, like the black looks wrong. Like I looked it up right now and I'm like, it just looks wrong. But that's how I remembered it too with that. Like I also saw here the Chick-fil-A sign. Like, did it say chick without a K or with a K?
I always thought it was CHIK.
It's CHIC, and is it correct? But people remember as CHICK, like chick.
Yeah, I always thought it was a K. I thought it was just a K.
Right? Or what about the Fruit of the Loom? Like, right?
Yeah,
it has a little
cornucopia. The cornucopia, dude. I remember the cornucopia.
That's the one that trips me out the most. That one trips me out the most because I didn't remember that cornucopia for that. And just to see, like, no, we never had it. Like, what? There's no way.
And then they freaking pull out all, like, this is our history of all our logos. Like,
yeah, someone is fucking around with us.
Like,
you lied to me. I don't believe you. Okay? Trying to think of more Mandela effects.
I mean, there's like Curious George. I wasn't really a Curious George fan, so I don't know if he had a tail or not.
I wasn't. There's also the Looney Tunes one.
Fruit Loops, right?
Fruit Loops as well.
Too, yeah. It said fruit, like it's in fruit instead of double O.
Yeah.
A Looney Tunes one, I never noticed that. So which is the correct? Tunes with double O or tunes as in like so like a song? Looney
I
Tunes.
don't know which
Well-
one's the correct, but I think the one I know is the TOON, the tune.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I can understand why tunes like music is
Right.
because there's
Because
some
it's
things.
cartoons, right?
Well,
and then
no,
there's tunes with music.
Well, cartoons is OONS.
Right. Oh yeah.
That one makes a lot of sense, and the one that I think it should be if it's not. But if it's TUNES, there is some singing. So I guess
Right.
like at the beginning, like that's the Looney Tune whenever they're singing the like intro.
Right. No,
But-
that makes sense with that. Yeah.
But
It says
like
online
OONS
that tunes,
makes sense.
right? But the
But-
correct one is tunes, like as in songs.
Yeah,
So what the heck?
it's weird. It's very weird how they're trying to change history without in front of our face, just to like see if they can.
And then I guess like the big one that everyone talks about is the Shazam with the Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah, for me, I always remembered Shaq. I never
Right.
saw one with what's his name?
I'm sorry, not Shazam. Shazam was I'm just thinking Kazam. Kazam was the Shaquille O'Neal. Shazam
Yeah.
is the one with Sinbad. There's his name.
Yeah. See, I remembered Shaq with Kazam, and only thing I remembered Sinbad for was Blank Check. Really, like,
Yeah.
but apparently it's a thing.
Yeah, I actually do. I want to say I can't remember 100%, but I want to say I watched it or I saw trailers for it for Shazam with Sinbad. But I can't say 100% if I remember. But I remember something with that. And I was like, oh, there was like a movie just like that, and I just thought it was the same as Kazam. But then I remembered like, no, it's Shazam. I don't know if it's just a spoof or what that was, but yeah, I remember seeing a trailer for it.
Yeah, I never seen that movie actually. I had to look it up.
Which one?
The
Kazam?
Kazam. Yeah. Is this a genie movie? Oh, it's on Disney. What the heck?
Yeah. So essentially, like Kazam, Shaq was the genie, and a little kid brought him out, and it was all about their adventures. And honestly, like, fucking, I want Shaq as my genie. Like, who's messing with a guy? Who's messing with you whenever you got a guy that is as big as Shaq over you? Like, nah, cower in fear, peasants.
So y'all know where like the Mandela effect started, like the name of the Mandela?
Yeah, a time traveler went back in time and took Nelson Mandela out of prison.
Oh, that's a different theory I heard.
No, I just made that up. Yeah, it's from Nelson Mandela.
Yeah. Some people thought he died in 1985, but he was still alive. But he didn't die till like 2013.
Yep.
And everybody just believed it.
Yeah. It's like, oh, he died already. He's not alive no more. And then he actually died again, I guess. I don't know.
I'm telling you, that's
years
what
later.
it is. That's what it is. Somebody in the future invented a time machine and went back and changed something, and it wasn't something that was big enough for it to be like huge, but they changed it, changed it back to the way it was, and we're all in that timeline where we can remember both timelines.
Both things.
Yeah, that's what's going on right now. Is we can remember both things, like, and then that person that invented the time machine decided this is too much power and literally destroyed it. Probably.
So the time traveler, like crushed the butterfly or step on something that wasn't supposed to step on?
Yeah. He was killing butterflies in the past that caused ripples in the future. Yeah, the butterfly effect.
I recently saw the Flash movie where he goes back in time.
Oh, Flashpoint. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of the most iconic Flash moments in his in the known Flash stuff, in my opinion. It's where the Flash goes back and tries to save his mom and prove his dad is innocent. And then he realizes he can't do that because it causes ripples in the Speed Force, which causes more issues going forward.
I like the cartoon version better than the movie.
I'm gonna be honest with you, might be a hot take. I liked the Flash, the WB, like the show, more.
Yeah,
Like with Grant Gustin. For me, like I like Ezra Miller in Perks of Being a Wallflower. That was his character.
that movie was good.
I loved him as that character. As the Flash, Grant Gustin is my Flash.
Yeah.
Because I think he does a fantastic job, and I think if he was given a script that was on par or better than what we've gotten so far from any like live action WB movie, any DC movie that been put out over the years, if there was a decent script and he was cast as the Flash, I wouldn't be mad. And I wish that they'd keep Henry Cavill as Superman. That's bullshit.
Yeah, DC is just, I don't know what they're doing. Just so many changes. Like, it's like, oh.
Sorry. We might have lost him as The Witcher and Superman, but we get him in a Warhammer movie, so.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, he's doing a Warhammer 40K movie, which
nice.
I'm suspecting probably be pretty good, especially if he's on it and he probably is going to have some say in the script, just like the first 2 seasons of The Witcher, whenever he had say in it, and it was a fantastic show and people loved it. There's probably a reason why people loved it, because people watched it because they wanted to see a live action version of the game and the books, and not some like crushed up Hollywood love story that they wanted to force feed us.
Oh, is that what happened towards the end? Because I didn't get to finish it. And I'm like, who was it? Is that one of the Hemsworth that became?
So yeah, and I haven't finished the second season out of the sheer fact of Henry Cavill's going to be gone. Don't get me wrong.
Right. I started and I'm like, oh, he's leaving. I'm like, oh, it's going to be the same.
Respect to the Hemsworth brothers, but I don't. It's just like mid-season cast. Like you see it's like whenever they change a cast or like a main character in a show, and it's very noticeable, and it does very bad things to the show, and the show usually falls off after that. It's not because the person who did the acting it's not always that reason where that person is just a bad actor, but it's just like he was Geralt of Rivia. Like you look at that man, and you go back and look at Geralt of Rivia, and you can't tell me otherwise. I don't care.
I need to watch that show too. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, add it to your long list of things that you'll never get to.
There's so many shows and movies I'm trying to catch up myself too.
Yeah,
no, don't even with Brandon. He might have a list, but he's going to prioritize none of those and watch whatever's the newest thing, or start whatever's the newest thing, don't finish it, and then go back and rewatch Ted Lasso and then quote it for the next 3 weeks. It's
you can't hate on Ted Lasso.
I love Ted Lasso. I just wish you would catch up on some of the lists so I can talk to you about some of these other shows, instead of being like, well, I can't talk to you about this show because I would spoil it. Can't talk to you about this show because I would spoil it. You know, one of these days I'll have a conversation with you.
I tried watching The Expanse, but the first episode, like, there is like a sex scene without gravity, and I'm like, yeah, I can't watch this.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Huh? What do you mean?
I had to watch it.
You don't even see anything. Well, you don't even see anything, really.
Because it's just the awkwardness of what's happening. You're like, nah, I can't have this in my house yet. There's kids here.
I guess. Fair. I guess. I can't argue. I don't have to worry about having kids around me.
I was getting the gist of it. Like, they were like, some people were deformed or something. Like, they're not getting...
Well, so this doesn't spoil anything for anybody who hasn't seen The Expanse, but the spacers is what they call them. They're people who were born in outer space, and because they didn't have the pressure of Earth's gravity, their bones didn't form entirely correctly. They formed hollow, and for the most part, which means their bone strength isn't quite as strong as those who were born on
No, I think he.
Oh no.
He was getting right. He was getting right into it.
We
Oh,
lost Billy.
oh god.
I was like, and
And I
Lars
was
off.
like
Wait,
getting
what
into
happened? What
it.
happened?
Our listeners are gonna be like, "What the heck? We'll continue the story."
I didn't connect. I was literally
Stay tuned
talking.
for next episode.
I know we were like all excited listening to it, like, "Oh, okay."
What
What
happened?
happened?
Where did I leave off? I didn't know I left. All I knew is that next thing I know, I'm like disconnect, reconnect, and I was like, oh,
Oh my god!
I was mid sentence too.
The people were, I mean, I don't know what the show I'm talking about, but something about people have hollow bones and
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
the
so like
expanse.
it's because they're born in outer space. Their bones are a more brittle. They're more breakable. They have deformities that Earth and Mars people don't have, and they're treated like third-rate citizens. They're basically like in most cases slaves, and to build ship for Mars and Earth, and they just want their rights. They are trying to fight for those rights. But the gist of this, the main part of the story, like the meat and potatoes, is about the main character that Brandon so eloquently said is having sex at the beginning of the show.
So eloquently. I like that word though.
what, sex?
Yeah,
No,
that's probably the one.
eloquently.
Eloquent.
What's this show called?
Expanse. It's on Amazon.
Expanse.
I will tell
it sounds
you,
interesting.
it's a great show if you like political sci-fi. It's great. However, it's been canceled. So the way it ends,
oh no,
it's an ending. They wrote it as an ending, but you're not gonna like it. I did not like it. So it's not like an ending how Glow was. If you ever watched Glow on Netflix, where the way they ended that, they ended it as in show's been canceled. Here's a cliffhanger. Good luck.
Oh, that's what I'm afraid of. Like to get invested in a show that wasn't finished entirely. Like that's just
the Expanse isn't
time.
The Expanse doesn't leave you on a cliffhanger, but you're not gonna like how it ends.
So how is it decided to cancel a show?
Well, I mean, it's based off of viewers. So if they see like a viewer count not being there,
okay.
then they're going to be like, well, this show isn't getting the attention that we wanted it to get. It's like an analytical thing. So like if like a show isn't meeting certain numbers, then maybe we should rethink the show, make a little change. You don't want to make a change? Well, guess what? Guess we are going to just go a different direction with this.
Yeah, change actors, change scripts. It doesn't even go right. And then like companies buy each other. Like if it's one network, then another network picks it up and then do it their way
and change it entirely.
Yeah. So how do you think season 2024 is going to go for everyone?
Same shit, different number at the end.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, actually, probably a lot less COVID.
Oh, yeah. 2020.
But isn't there like another flu going around now?
And the what flu going around?
There's another like type of thing going around now.
I'm good.
What is it called?
Wait, I might not be good.
Pneumonia, I think is.
Are you aware pneumonia's been around for a long time?
Well, it's picking up. I mean, like it's going around at a high rate. I think it started. Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't give the false information, but
yeah,
I know. I mean, a lot of people.
I mean, after the holidays, everyone came to work all sick and all. So they were coughing, sneezing. I was like, ugh, what's going on?
Right.
And away, and here we go.
Shit! Here we go again.
Oh, does that mean we get to go work from home again? And everything's closed? All right. Say less.
Yeah, 2020 is like a blur. Like I don't even know what happened.
Different deal. Because today I had to go take care of some stuff. It's mind-boggling at how much a battery is nowadays. Like I remember going to like a car battery for that matter. Well, actually both. let's be real. Like, fucking, if you've had to buy a battery for your remote or your watch, it's just as like ridiculous. I had to buy 2 watch batteries because my fobs for my car died. $13 for
Yeah.
two.
Oh damn, $13.
And yeah,
I'm
and
about
I
to,
paid
and
it.
I need to buy a new one too because mine's telling me like, oh, your battery's low. Like crap.
Yeah. Well, and on top of that, I remember like batteries for your car after you've turned yours in, it was like $60. It came out to be like $60, just under like $100. Nah, that shit was $260 today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit.
What the
260.
hell? Yeah, exactly.
You
I'm
got
like,
the
what?
gold. You got the gold one or what?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know
Yeah, I
that.
feel like the good,
that-
decent ones like around 200s.
I mean, the one below it was 189.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I got the gold one that was that was more expensive because it was at that one that I was at. The other one was at a different location, and I was like, "Fuck! All right, well, fine. I'll take this one because I need to get it done." And another one, it's another thing. Inspection used to be like 12 and some change, $12 and some change. 25 now, doubled.
Yeah.
Like, oh my lord.
And then on
Yeah,
top of that, you gotta pay the sticker.
Yeah, for the sticker.
$75.
Yeah, dude. Like, and
I paid twice.
yeah, and yeah, that's another thing that's bothering me. Like, yeah, cool. You want me to get it inspected? Cool, I get that. However, shouldn't you reimburse me if I did get it inspected and make what I'm paying you less?
Yeah, right.
Maybe, I don't know, because I'm getting it inspected so that I can get it registered. However, if I go in there without inspection, you're not giving me a registration. Why can't I go get my inspection? I'm paying for that. Come to you basically like a rebate, right? A mail-in rebate, but you just show up and you like, here, I want my rebate for I want my get my inspection taken care of. And
Yeah, just like the car batteries, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
You trade in
turn
your
in
car
old
battery.
one. Right.
Yeah. So that they can recycle it. Well, you want me to have an inspected vehicle? Well, guess what? Here's my inspection. I am giving that to you. You take that off of my final cost of the registration, and that's the registration cost. Ta-da. Honestly, I think people would probably really like that.
Yeah, and I wait for the sticker in the mail. So yeah, just go for that.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, you could just do the sticker in the mail, but most of the time people wait to the last second, and you have to still go wait in a place where it seems like where everybody seems pretty fucking miserable that they're there, including the people that work there, and and you're just there because you have to be there. You have no choice.
Yeah, I think that's the reason why I switched to mail, because I think I was that person like, oh, I'll go in there in person, get it immediately, and yeah, people are just like not liking their life, not liking their jobs.
Yeah, and you also got to consider like somebody like for me, I'm not like I don't run a taxi service on the side like somebody else, but for me, I work from home and I rarely have a need to leave. So like the rate that I drive my car, I've had my car since I think 2019.
Yeah.
I got this car in like 2019. I drove it that first year. Outside of that, it basically sat in the front and in the front driveway, and I barely needed to get it inspected because I've barely driven it. Like you can imagine, like it had like 50 something thousand miles on it. Typically, after what is it? How many years has it been? What was that in 2019? So 5 years?
Yeah, almost 5 years.
Yeah, so out of 5 years, I've put on maybe 20,000 miles.
That's actually not bad. Pretty good.
Yeah, just consider that. That's like 3,000 a year.
Yeah, because the average is like 10 years, 10,000 miles a year, right? Usually,
yeah, under half of that.
Good resale value.
Well, I mean, I like my car. I like it a lot. Like even using like for example, I'm sure y'all have. Everybody does. If you like thought like, hey, if I win the lottery, this is what I would get. And my first three things are very practical. I would pay off all my debts. I would find a house, buy the house, and pay off like my car, and either trade that car in for a better version of my car, because I like my car a lot. So I would just rather have that same car, just kind of a newer model of that car.
Gotcha.
There's a Mini
I'm not
Cooper
going out
20.
buying a Tesla or Lambo or anything like that. I want my car. I really enjoy it. I know how it drives. I like it. And then a nice house, and from there, everything else is either going into savings or going into investings. And I'd probably still work.
Smart way. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. That's how I would spend many dollars, or if I won the lottery. I would, yeah, there's not much. So a couple credit cards, nothing too crazy, but my car is already paid off. So yeah, I think you just pay off the mortgage.
My car will be paid off in May.
Oh, nice. Congrats.
Yeah, I'm excited.
That's the best feeling. I did mine, I think sometime last year.
Yeah, I'm ready to get that monthly amount back a month. I'm ready to have that back.
Mine was pretty unusual because like I didn't call ahead to tell them like, hey, I'm gonna pay off the full amount, and so I paid it off through the I guess online, and I guess there's like an interest rate to that. So the next day I checked it, it had 1 cent on there. Like, are you serious? You couldn't pay the 1 cent? So since this is like a credit union, so they're like particular how I pay. So I couldn't pay with my debit card from another bank because it's like no more than $1. Like, oh well, I can't pay this 1 cent, so I don't have to do. But thankfully, I had like a savings account through the credit union, and yeah, because 1 cent off from there and paid it off. Which it's just funny that I had to have 1 cent just to pay off the car.
My vehicle before the one that I have now, I remember calling them and I was like, hey, I want to make a payment. And they were like, all right, how much? I was like, how much is left? And they were like, told me how much was left. And I was like, that much. And they were like, oh, okay. Like, the most genuine surprise, the most genuinely surprised like question or answer. And I was like, yeah, I'm done paying this monthly bullshit now. I want that money back. That was why I was so averse to getting the car that I have, because I was like, I don't want to deal with a monthly payment. But at the same time, I was like, I kind of want a Mini. I want a stick shift vehicle. That sounds awesome to me.
Oh, yours is stick shift?
Yeah.
I want to learn stick. I've been wanting to learn it for like years, but I don't know anybody with a stick shift car.
Yep, you missed out, bud. I never drive mine. Oh,
yeah, I was thinking of buying like a beater, like $1,000 beater. It was standard, just so I could learn it.
That's a good idea. Because getting a stick shift, like going and like getting in a car that's actually not a beater, that is standard does, and you mess up the clutch, tends to be quite expensive if the clutch is fucked.
Yeah. That's what I was afraid of. Like, I'll just get something cheap for now so I can get the hang of it.
Exactly. Speaking of me going and taking care of stuff today, I went and ate at a restaurant we never usually go to, Brandon. Highly suggested. It's called Fat Knee.
Fat Knee.
That's what it's called. It's a skewer house. It's right beside where we go get pho.
Pho.
Or not pho. We don't get pho there. We get hot pot.
Yeah.
For some reason, because the AutoZone is right next to a pho place. That for me, so I was been thinking about that like all day. But no, we went there to the skewer house, and it was delicious. 1, 2. It was really delicious, and that's all I gotta say. And it was pretty affordable too. And they're open until 2 a.m. 1.
Wow.
2. They sell up to 100-ounce beers, so it's a beer volcano. So they bring it out to your table as in a beer volcano, and you can just sit there and sip that. My friend almost got the 50-ouncer today at lunch, and I'm like, his wife was like, "No, absolutely not." The waiter was laughing at him, and then I'm trying to show her how to like hold like chopsticks because she was having trouble, and Slick, this waiter, just just slyly walks by and just drops 3 forks off. And the only person that saw it was my friend. He started laughing really hard, and she looked over and she's like, "Oh my god!" No, I
So it's
highly
the
suggest that place. Yeah,
your house called Fatney.
yeah.
Okay,
Where did
let
you
me
get
write that
it?
down.
What do
Yeah,
you
what
mean?
do you
Where did I
recommend?
get?
Any food? Everything.
I mean, dude, like the lamb was good. The pork
Oh,
belly
okay.
was delicious. Hell, they had this broccoli on skewers that was in their little house sauce. Best broccoli I've had in a while. Like, dude, so good.
It's a
Like,
all you can eat place.
no, so it's you pay for what you order kind of
Oh,
situation.
okay.
But
Oh,
like
okay.
the skewers are like $2.
Okay,
So
gotcha.
think of
Not
think of
bad.
it like Kura, the rotating sushi bar.
Mm.
Think of it like that. So you like pay for the plate.
Oh, okay, I see. I haven't been to that, but I've been wanting to try like a sushi place or like
Well,
like that rotisserie or rotating.
let me tell you, if you're going there, go there like for lunch and during the
Okay.
week. If you go there during the week for lunch, you'll go in and sit right down. If you go on a Saturday, on the other hand, you're looking at a 2 to 4 hour wait.
Ooh, gosh, that's pretty long.
Yeah.
I mean, that whole
Oh,
area over there is packed on Saturdays.
yeah.
So
I'll
like
just go ahead and
if
eat my
you're
heart off for that time. Like, ugh, I can't wait that long.
what other nostalgia things were you wanting? Like, are we talking about like like full on Mandela effects for nostalgia, or like
No, no.
what
So,
else?
so
What else do you want?
since we're talking about like things in the past, I kind of wanted to kind of ask y'all like what are some things in the past like that? For example, what was your favorite drink in the past?
Hmm.
The fruit, what's it called? Fruiteria or the fruit drink? Oh man, it was by Coke. They made that. And then we see
Fanta?
the vending. No, it was like a vending machine called Fruiteria. I mean, I gotta to look that up.
Really?
I don't know about that one myself.
Yeah, it's like they have like
No,
really good flavors, but they don't make that anymore. Let me get the
the
name
one
right.
that came to mind for me was high C, orange,
Nah.
or fruit punch. Like back then, it tasted different to what it tastes like now.
Fruitopia is the name I'm looking for.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember that
Yeah.
Utopia.
actually.
Oh yeah.
For me, I was full degen video game player. Like I played a lot of video games, so mine
Oh,
was like
Surge.
no, no,
Surge.
dude, that was whole different. No, I was weird. I liked Mr. Pibb and Dr. Pepper. Like I would go through like
Oh,
an
Mr.
entire case
Pibb,
of that
Yeah.
shit.
yes.
I'd go
I
through a
love Mr.
whole
Pibb.
case of Pibb. Like just when it was Mr. Pibb, I went through a whole case of that stuff.
Oh, what is it now? Dr.
Yeah.
Pibb or what?
No, it's just Pibb.
Oh, it's just
What the
Pibb? I
heck?
didn't notice that. And no, I
Me
didn't notice
neither.
that. Yeah, because I prefer Mr. Pibb, like hands down, because I prefer that. Yeah, it's a little bit more flavorful than Dr. Pepper, but if anything, I'll just pick Dr. Pepper too.
I was also a huge fan of root beer. Still am. I still love root beer, even though people hate on it for calling it cough syrup. But I'm also
Right?
I'm a mint flavored enjoyer. So people are like enjoy your toothpaste and enjoy your cough syrup, and I'm like, oh, I will. I don't have to share it with you. I know. Thanks. If I
What's wrong
if
with
I
root
want something,
beer?
well, they say it tastes like cough syrup, and I'm like,
It's not that bad.
Yeah,
you're
people used
telling
to
me you
hate
add
hate
you
on
telling
the.
me you telling me if I add some ice cream to that, it's gonna taste like cough syrup, and you're gonna say no? All right, bet. Say less. I know how to have what I want, and you not take it from me or steal it. Done.
I remember they
No,
came
you
out in the 90s with they had Pepsi Crystal, which is like a clear Pepsi.
what?
You
I
ever heard of
remember
that?
that.
No,
I
yeah, it was like
remember
an
that.
probably early 90s, but I don't know how long it lasted. But and then after that, I think in the 2000s, they came out with Pepsi Blue, or the Pepsi was in blue. That also lasted for a short while too.
I've never seen that.
Oh,
Yeah, I guess I was like more of a, because I was like watching TV a lot, so I guess I see commercials for it. And you know how they get you like, oh, I want to try it now. So I go to like a local convenience store and like try to get it, say taste it, but it's just like Pepsi, it's just a different color.
not gonna lie, the only blue drink that I ever drank, well, there was two of them. The only blue drinks I ever drank was Baja Blast and the blue Gatorade because I played a lot of sports.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say the Big Blue. Like instead of Big Red, it's
hell
Big
no,
Blue.
dude. If you don't like Big Red, then fuck you. God, dude.
Billy,
What's up?
what flavor is Big Red?
What flavor's Big Red?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, is it like cherry or some shit?
I don't know.
It's like a
'Cause
mix of cherry and cotton candy. I don't know.
Let's say what flavor is Big Red? It's sore throat flavor. That shit goes down hard, dude. And you thought Coke, like a cold Coca-Cola went down hard? Nah. Big Red. Big Red got
I feel
you.
like the ingredients on Big Red now doesn't taste the same as it was before.
Might not.
Yeah.
The red dye 40 changed.
That's probably what
Red
it
Dye,
was.
Red Dye 41 now. I don't know. Or 40-B. I don't know.
I mean, the original Coca-Cola used to be a lot more addicting.
That's
I wonder
true.
why.
Well,
I wonder why.
Yeah. No, when we started talking about Big Red, like I clearly remember whenever you take a sip right and you burp, like I always get that like in my nose something, like the gas coming out of my nose, and I just flash back right now with the Big Red. Like that, I could go for a Big Red right now.
I remember just having seen those at like parties, like at baby showers, kids' birthday parties. Like Big Red was like the place to, like in the 90s, just that's the drink you'll get. Just to get like very hyper.
Were you from San Antonio?
Yeah, right? Nah. I did go there a lot during the summertime, so I guess it makes sense.
Big
We
Red.
had no families, so we
Barbacoa.
just went there for vacation. So.
Oh.
Oh yeah, speaking of that, that reminded me. So me and Kim went to San Antonio, I guess when we first started dating, and our biggest thing is like getting breakfast in the morning. And we stayed at this hotel, and we went to usually get the breakfast. We got the eggs and waffles, and it was just the two of us at first. And then another family comes in, and mind you, this is like probably 6 a.m. And this family, father, mother, and a daughter. The mother and father both got their food fine, but the kid, the daughter, she had like a Pepsi, not Pepsi, a Big Red. That early, like at 6 a.m. I'm like, what? Like, this kid got to be from San Antonio already, because there's no way I would drink Big Red at 6 a.m. in the morning.
Ain't no way, dude.
I mean, it's vacation. It's like taking a shot of
Hell
tequila
no.
when you're in Vegas in the morning.
Huh?
Yeah, I mean, explaining as the mimosas too and all, but like a Big Red at 6 a.m.
Okay, a mimosa at 6 a.m. I get it. All right, fam. If you're not working that day and you're actually awake for breakfast, I'm not judging you for having a mimosa for breakfast. You do you. Live your best life. A Big Red, dude. You woke up and chose violence that day. Like what?
I want to say she was like maybe 5, 6 years old.
Hell no. Nah. If you want cough syrup, sweetie, I'll take you home.
I was just asking for trouble. I don't know how she was that day.
Her stomach might have been upset.
Probably ruined the whole vacation for them. I'm not sure. Oh, how about this? Like, what's your favorite network? Like, were you a Disney person? Cartoon Network?
Let me
or
tell
Disney,
you.
Nickelodeon?
Let me tell you why I wasn't a Disney person first. I didn't have Disney person kind of money growing up, so we weren't Disney people. But I'll let you know, afternoon cartoons. That's where I found my stuff, because waking up in the morning, I know a lot of people's like Saturday morning cartoons and cartoons before school. Before school, before like I wasn't awake for Saturday morning cartoons. Wasn't awake enough to care about what cartoons were on in the morning before school. It was what came on after school, and it was like a mixed bag. Like some days I would want to watch Digimon and Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff like that after school, or the OG X-Men. That was my shit.
Oh yeah.
The da-na-na-na-na-na. But I was also the kind of person that was like Around the Horn, which was a debating show on ESPN, was on after school, like right after school, and I loved watching Around the Horn. So I would watch Around the Horn and then pick up from that after that with my cartoons or go straight into video games.
You watch ESPN at a young age,
Dude, you got to think, at a young age I was playing football, I was playing baseball, I was playing basketball, and then as I got older I learned how to play golf, and I learned how to play other sports, and I was really into sports. By myself, I wanted to do sports. It was my thing. That, and I also loved reading books. Well, whenever I stopped doing sports and wanted to read books, that's real. When I slowly didn't realize it then, but I realize it now, I had ADHD. Because I would start reading the book, I would get distracted and I would read the paragraph, get distracted, and forget what that paragraph was, and be like, "Wait, what the fuck did I just read?" And read that paragraph over again,
Yeah.
and it would be a repeating situation to the point of where my brain was like, "I give up," and I'd fall asleep.
That still happens to me now. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I was say like I think that sounds like me. Like I read something, I'm like, wait, what did I just read?
Oh, it happens to me all the time. That's the reason why I have to do things while I'm like, I have to overstimulate myself throughout the day so that I don't shut down. My body is just like, yeah, we're done. You're only doing one thing. You can't focus on that, so your mind's going to bounce off of what was that noise. Oh wait, what did I say I needed to do? Oh yeah, this. Ooh, I just got a message. What does that say? Oh, my phone just blinked. Oh, I could check out. I should look and see what this is. Oh, it's a message from somebody that I have a TikTok. Let's check that TikTok. Let's go through my For You page. And 3 hours have gone by. Holy shit, what am I doing? Finally found my way back to what I was supposed to be doing.
Oh my god. I just keep picturing a dog going, squirrel, squirrel.
Yeah, it's basically, yeah. Oh, cookie. Shiny.
No, I like how you brought up you didn't have cable, because I didn't have cable either. But this may not count as a cartoon, or maybe it will, because I used to wake up. I know you're gonna laugh at me, but I used to wake up at like 5 in the morning.
You woke up?
I used to wake up at 5 in the morning because
Poser waking up early in the morning, whatever.
One day I woke up, right, and I turned on the TV. I think it was channel 8, ABC. I think it was still ABC, but they would play Power Rangers at 5 in the morning. For some reason it was free, they would just stream it. And when I found that out, like, I would wake up every day at that time to just watch Power Rangers, but then I realized that it was just every Saturday. So once I realized that, then I would wake up every Saturday at 5 a.m. to watch Power Rangers, because we didn't have any cable or internet or nothing like that.
When I was really young, I watched the fuck out of Power Rangers.
Hell yeah.
When I could. Yeah. But the thing is, it was weird because I really liked the Power Rangers. And then after that first movie, the Power Rangers movie, I kind of fell off of watching the Power Rangers. And then all of these other Power Rangers came to be, and I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
And I'm like, huh? And my favorite Power Rangers probably to this day are from the movie, the ninja ones. Those were awesome, dude.
Yeah. I won't say the OGs, because they did change a little bit after that, but it was around that area. The first generation, almost. Mighty Morphin.
Yeah. And everybody seemed to have had a crush on the Pink Ranger. I didn't. I just watched it because it was a lot of fighting and it seemed kind of cool.
So you fell off after Mighty Morphin?
I don't like, after the movie, I don't have any like fond memories of the Power Rangers anymore. Like I just got hit with the Rangers and I'm done.
After Mighty Morphin, so many great ones came out. Like
Oh, no,
That was a Turbo.
Yeah, Turbo. That movie was great. I like that movie too.
Look, I have nothing bad to say about the other ones. I don't say that they're bad. I just never watched them. I was kind of into a different thing, I guess. I think it went from that straight into like X-Men, and then from that it was Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Digimon.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had like the Power Rangers had the Turbo, the cops. There was in space. Another version. Another ninja.
Samurais,
Polices.
Oh yeah,
I think
SPD. I love SPD.
I think I stopped after something called the dinosaur one. I forget what it's called. Like when it was like
Dino
three people.
Thunder. Oh,
Maybe
that
I think
was
that's
so
where
good too.
I think that's where I died off. A little bit
Those
before
budget
that, I'm like,
cuts.
nah.
Budget cuts. They only could only get 3, not the
Yeah,
full 5.
because there's only 3. I'm like, wait, where's that happened to all the 5 or 6? So like, man, like, what is this
Um,
shit? Nah.
The Green
I have
Ranger
a
was in that one. The I forgot his name. He just passed
Tommy.
Tommy.
away. Yeah,
Yeah, or
Tommy. He was.
Jason Frank. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was
Jason.
the teacher in that movie. I mean, in that
He
show.
I saw him a lot at Comic Con here. He used to come all the time because he lived in the area.
No,
So
and there's the new Power Rangers. There was a season where
the old ones came back, right?
they basically have all the powers of the old Power Rangers, and I thought that was like awesome because it like put all the worlds together.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes.
Yeah. After the
It was.
Spider-Man multiverse, I think everyone wanted to copy like, oh, let's do a multiverse series or something.
Well, the Power Rangers multiverse came out before the Spider-Man multiverse. So.
Hell, the Power
That's
Rangers
true.
multiverse
That's true.
included the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles at one point.
Yeah, that was a
Oh, yeah.
crossover. I do remember that. That was actually a very fantastic episode. I think I have this somewhere VHS recorded.
Right.
So it was like crossovers. Like back then, it was like a huge thing.
Yeah, because there was I think back in the day there was a DC versus Marvel crossover.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, like there was like people that you were always like curious, like, wait, hold up, what? And then as I grew up, it was like the Justice League Dark. I was like, oh, Constantine, let's go, dude. That's my kind of fucking superhero. He embraces the dark side, but he fights for the good.
He's the one that turns into a goblin.
No. Constantine is he's got magical body. Like he's magic. He's full on magic.
Okay.
Like fun fact, I'm pretty sure they're trying to do some kind of live action with that. And who do you think they're going to get to play as Constantine? The guy who's already played Constantine.
No.
Bet you can't guess who that is, Mr. John Wick himself.
John Wick finding some demons.
Basically, dude, there is was it Trigon? He's one of the demons in the DC universes. He's I think if I'm not mistaken, that's Raven's father from Teen Titans.
Trigon, yeah. Oh, speaking of DC, have you seen Blue Beetle?
I haven't seen it yet.
No, I have.
You should
No,
watch
I've been
it.
seeing advertisement for it, but never watched it yet.
It's on Amazon Prime for $6 if you want to buy the entire thing, the whole movie.
$6. Nah, I'm good.
I could do that.
Yeah.
Or
Oh yeah. That type of behavior is not condoned in this podcast.
Is
What are you talking about?
is Redbox still a thing?
Yeah, Roblox still exists.
You know, it's weird because I see them like very rarely, and I'm like, wait, what? Those are still a thing? Just like I think the Blockbusters ones are still a thing too.
Yeah, I remember. I still have the package from Blockbuster, the mail-in. I
Okay.
forgot what it was, but I still have it, but I never returned it because they shut down a little bit after that.
Dude, I remember like when Netflix first started out, which is really weird because one of the first things that they were advertising was Eight-Legged Freaks, if y'all remember that movie.
Oh, yes, I remember.
And I remember their advertisements with Eight-Legged Freaks, and I was like, why would anybody want to watch that? Okay, I guess. And it took me a very long time to like break down and be like, all right, what's this Netflix stuff about? When I did, it was I can tell you what I got from Netflix. It was Dexter. Not Dexter's Laboratory. Dexter, the first couple of seasons of the Showtime show.
The HBO one, right? Or Showtime?
No, Showtime. Yeah, it was Showtime. Yeah. And if you've never seen that, let me tell you, it was pretty good those first couple of seasons. I kind of fell off of that on the third season.
Right. No, I can't watch it all the way through, but I only saw like some episodes here and there, but I never watched it fully through. But I need to go back because it looks really good.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I heard like after I stopped watching, there was some questionable writing directions that they went with, but
Yeah.
you can only be on a show for so long before you have a bad season and they end you. Or
So I
that's how I
think
see it.
I remember I was mostly once I had cable, I would think I was more of a mostly a Nickelodeon fan, like a Nick at Night kind of thing. All
Yeah,
that.
Snick,
Yeah, Snick.
Keenan
Yeah,
and Kel.
In Cal. Are You Afraid of the Dark? All that scary ones. Goosebumps. That was my thing. But like, when I didn't have cable, I think I was watching Fox Kids. That's where all the
Okay.
like, Power
Yep.
Rangers, Gargoyles.
Gargoyles. Hell
yeah.
yeah. Okay. That was after school as well. I remember
Yeah,
Gargoyles.
yeah. Avoid the what's his name? Oh shoot, what's his name? The Tick. I know is one of them.
Yeah, the
Freakazoid.
tick.
Yeah.
So
Freakazoid.
you're Nickelodeon. I was when I got cable eventually. I was Cartoon Network person, but I used to like the after hours too. Like it wasn't Adult Swim yet. It was it was like
Toonami,
a
bud.
Yeah,
Toonami.
Toonami. Yeah, I
Konami.
used to watch
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z.
Yep.
Oh my god, yeah, I loved waiting
That-
until that
dude.
came on.
Dude, that's where I was introduced to anime. It was
Yeah.
Cowboy Bebop, which I fucking loved Cowboy Bebop. And I've since gone back and watched the show, and I still like it a lot. That Big O, Trigun, those three were the ones that I really watched whenever it was time.
I think Big O and Trigun were the first ones they started anime for me. I was like, oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, mine was those three, and a lot of people theirs was Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball. And honestly,
Yeah.
those weren't my three. I never caught either one of those.
Yeah, I think for me it was Sailor Moon. When I was like probably like 5 or 6. I don't know how old that show was, but that was the first one. And then once Cartoon Network picked up anime, it was Big O and Triguns, and yeah, that's where I started anime with.
I started watching Cowboy Bebop until I met Billy because he was like talking about it and like, yeah, I'm gonna watch this. And then I also watched the Netflix adaptation.
Oh yeah, I had to say it's in my list. Cowboy Bebop's on my list, but I haven't watched it yet, so I need to like watch it. I just barely started. I just finished Dragon Ball Z because I know that was a huge thing back then, but I was never into it. But I just started. I think I want to say 2 years ago, from the beginning of Dragon Ball, and now I'm like at GT right now, so it's taking a while to get through it.
Damn, yeah, it's gonna take you a while. I haven't finished it either. The new seasons, I haven't seen them.
I actually seen them, so I should be out of. But since I started the Dragon Ball newer ones, like I didn't know what was going on. So like, all right, after the season, I'm done with it. I'm gonna start from the beginning, see what the fuck is going on because I was so confused on most parts.
So many things to like change.
Let me tell you, Dragon Ball was amazing. Dragon Ball Z was good. Dragon Ball Super was fantastic. It doesn't for me. I liked it a lot. The animation was good. The story, I was hooked. I enjoyed it. But Dragon Ball, dude, OG Dragon Ball was so good.
Yeah, because since I watched the newer ones and I'm seeing the old ones, like there's a huge comparison how the writing and how the characters developed and stuff. Like,
yeah,
Kid Goku was savage.
The rivalry between Goku and Kid Goku and Krillin was kind of there, but it was more Master Roshi versus Goku. And then whenever you got into his adult area, like that, and you also saw where he met Chi-Chi, like where that started. Which, if you don't know, that's his wife, Brandon.
Oh my god! Yes, I know. every time I think about Goku and Chi-Chi, I remember that scene where Vegeta's like, "You never kissed your wife, Kakarot," and he's like, "No," and like, "But you have kids." He's like, "Well, yeah."
The best part with Vegeta is nobody touches my Bulma, dude.
Oh, Vegeta, yeah.
Nobody upsets his messes with his pride or his Bulma. Like, oh my.
Yeah, because I was watching the newer episodes, like the newer seasons, and they're doing a lot of flashbacks. I'm like, yeah, I can't relate because I don't know what happened.
But yeah, so if you've watched like any Dragon Ball Z and you've seen like Gohan and his whole like intro of how badass he was at the beginning of Dragon Ball Z and going further into it. And then you see, and you didn't finish Dragon Ball Z, but you've seen Goku or Gohan, and you've seen like his potential. And then you look at Super, and you're like, "What happened, bud? Like, you
he became a family man.
Well, he became a scholar like his mom wanted him to be one, and not a fighter like his dad." Which is fine because he's a much better father than Goku ever will be.
Yeah,
but he learned from the best father in the show, Piccolo.
Stepfather or father, whichever.
Piccolo is Gohan's dad.
You're my real dad. Okay, so I want to transition a little bit. What was one thing that you wanted really bad growing up? I really always wanted the freaking Game Boy that was like, I think the word is translucent, but it was basically see-through. And I always wanted one of those, but I never got my hands on one. Not even now that I'm...
Anything translucent was pretty cool back then.
Right?
Yeah, I got the Game Boy. I had that exact Game Boy too.
Of course you did.
Well, I mean, there were extenuating situations as to why I got it, because, you know, my mom got it for me, and my mom was a drug dealer, so she came across things and never told me how she got them, and I didn't question it because I was a kid getting video games that loved video games, so did have my Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega, and Game Boy at one point in time. But things that I really wanted, for me, it was things that I have now. I got grown-up money, and I've got a computer and internet, and I'm able to play things that aren't on dial-up.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. That was horrible.
Please, no.
No, I want to confess something. I didn't have Wi-Fi until I was like in university. Like
last year.
I used to steal Wi-Fi from my neighbor's house because like there was like this one spot in the corner of my kitchen where you would get signal, like a low signal, but I would get it. So I made this whole like table that would like, it was like I was on top of a table, and then I was on top of the chair, and like I had to do all that just to get like a low signal internet, and I would just be chatting and watching videos.
Oh my god!
Like all that for just that. Like, my god,
Everything be choppy every time you watch something because it's slow with that one bar barely loading.
What about you, Tony?
Man, I'm trying to think. I can only think of two things that came to mind. One was the PlayStation, the classic one. I never had that. I had the N64 and I had Sega Saturn. But the PlayStation, I feel like, because there was a rivalry, Nintendo 64 or the PlayStation, because they both came out roughly around the same time. But I didn't really enjoy the Nintendo 64, but I feel like there's better games that came out in the PlayStation, like Crash, Final Fantasy, Metal was it Metal Gear? Yeah, Metal Gear. And and I was like, oh, I guess I missed out some parts that I never really enjoyed it. But now that we have the internet, I can go back and play it again, and all those games, classic ones. And the second thing I probably want to say, probably later in the years, probably close to the 2000s, was I don't know if everybody had a thing with scooters, but my neighbors, a lot of the kids like scooters, like the silver scooters with light up wheels.
I had one.
Yeah, like I never had one of those, and that's something I always wanted, but now I don't want it. But that's like everyone had it as a kid growing up. So like, screw my bike. I want a scooter. There was like different ones. I remember it was like silver, gold. Somebody had like a red one. It was pretty cool.
I got the Nintendo 64 whenever it was packaged with GoldenEye, because my grandmother, it was like a birthday present from her to me, and it was like the last thing that I got from her before she passed away. So I had that, and that was like my introduction to first person shooting games and Nintendo 64. I had Mario, because she got me Mario 64 and the GoldenEye package. So I got a game with the Nintendo 64 that already came with the game, so I got 2 games right off the bat, and I was like, heck yeah, let's go. My tiny brain could not comprehend like all of the things that I see people do on speed running Mario 64 nowadays, because I guarantee you I did not do any of that.
Yeah. I'm like, what? You can do that?
Like the backwards jumping up the stairs to go through a door that you required so many stars to get there. I was like, huh? Yeah, nope. I don't know who figured that out, but I sure as hell would not have as a kid.
Nah, I should play through it. It's just get the stars just to go to that room.
Yeah. And at PlayStation, that actually like began my love for role-playing games, because I loved books, as I previously said, but the issue with books was I couldn't stay awake while reading them. So I looked at RPGs as, oh, this is telling me a story, but I'm actually getting to participate in the story. I love this.
Right. No, that makes sense.
This. I was like, this is my version of books. They could literally convert a lot of these books into video games, and that would be perfect for me. I'd spend days just playing through a story, getting everything on my way to the end, so I didn't have to play it again, even though that was kind of the whole idea, was to play it again and get all the things that you missed. And I was like, no. I only want to play it once, because I will lose interest the second time really quickly, which sucks. That's the whole, I can make it almost all the way through, but then I see shiny and I move on. Yeah, that's how I treated like RPGs, and like some of my fondest memories were like Final Fantasy 9, Final Fantasy 10, Kingdom Hearts 1. Like, things like these games that like really like seal my like childhood. Like there are like games like that. Knights of the Old Republic. I don't know if you guys played that, but Star Wars, to this day, probably one of my favorite things. I've played through it recently. I have it on Steam, first and second one. Never played the second one, but that first one I've played many a times in many different ways. That's the only game, one of the few games I actually will say, that I've been able to play multiple times all the way through.
Oh, nice. And you can play that by yourself. You don't need like online teams or anything like that, right?
Yeah, Knights of the Republic is just pure by yourself role-playing games that you choose, like your choices have consequences. And that was one thing that I loved about it, because it was one of the first like role-playing games that your choices had consequences. Like you could really like make a good or bad relationship with your companion if you chose to do this, and they could end up being very upset with you. It's stuff like that. And it was like, and then when Dragon Age came out, the first one, I don't know how long I spent on that game. That was innovative. And not to mention, it was one of the first games that I was like, oh, you can do what with your companions in this game? Let's test it. Let's see okay. All right. Well done. Well done. I'm going to do that to all of them.
I wasn't regretting not buying that game, because I was like, I had the Dragon Age in my hand. Like, should I buy this? Do I have interest in this?
It's on PC. You can get the first one. First one's good, but if you want more updated graphics and gameplay, like I would say Dragon Age Inquisition is actually really good. Like it's more up to date, and graphic wise, then the combat is still pretty good. It's relatively difficult, and just like most, I'd say Dragon Age 2 is probably the easier of the three. But yeah. And then the most recent like game that I will say is probably my favorite game of all time is Mass Effect, the entire series. I know 3 gets a lot of flack, and I will say I've never played Andromeda, but those first 3 I've played multiple times. I have 100% achievements done on that game in Steam, because I've played it multiple times in multiple different ways, because in order to unlock all the achievements you have to do
play different. I heard that was a great game. Like that was like very very popular in how it was structured, and once you finish like the first Mass Effect, it will continue on to the second one, like the storylines or like the saves of how
your character's the same, your choices on the first one carry over and affect the second one, and that was huge for me. I was like, what? Like this is game defining. Like whatever I did in the first game can change the way what my ending in the second and third game are. All right. Well, it sounds like I'm making another choice, making another, another little playthrough of each one, and I really enjoy it. It's on Steam, the Legendary Edition, well worth the purchase. I have it, and it's all 3 games with all the DLC.
Ooh, nice. I'll go ahead and say that and put them in a wish cart.
Yeah, like highly suggest it. You can probably find it on Humble on sale as well if you got a Humble bundle. Really good.
Yeah. Okay. And that's a good sales. I got the whole like GTA series, like cheap price.
Oh, nice. What have you seen the previews for the new GTA 6?
Oh yes. Oh my god, I can't wait.
I've watched.
Looking forward to it.
I'm kind of happy that GTA 5 evolved into this role playing thing, because, like, honestly, like, as a person who loves Dungeons and Dragons, seeing people that like embrace role playing in a way that they are playing the game, but they are actually playing their character in the game to other people who are playing their character in the game. It's like really entertaining to watch. And I'm like, this is, I like this. I love Dungeons and Dragons. Why don't you guys get, some dice out, make a character sheet, and just, sit down and play Dungeons and Dragons? Because that's essentially what you're doing in a modern age.
Yeah, GTA 5, they did so much. They reenacted like movie scenes, people like stay in character, like, oh, I'm a cop, you do follow what I say.
Yeah, like it was a huge streamer like thing for a couple of months there. Like there's still big streamers that do just that, where they get on and they play a character and they for a while, and that's what they do. And I think that's what they wanted to happen with RDR2, Red Dead Redemption. I think that's what they kind of wanted to happen because of how open world and big they made that world. And that one I thought would have been fucking funny if everybody is out on the open range, Western, like, yeah,
I can imagine.
Like bank robberies, like would be different. Like, okay, this would be interesting.
You don't belong here, boy.
Okay. Okay, now. Oh, whoa. Now that you say that, I told y'all I went out to eat, right? And we pulled up, and this car right beside us had some of the most fucked up but hilarious stickers on the back of it. First thing I saw was female Asian driver. Good luck, everyone else.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, what is this? No, whose car is this? Like, I'm telling you, the theme was that across the entire backside. It was like student driver, but it was like announcing that it's a female Asian driver. I'm like,
oh my god,
what? Who did this? Who did this? And why are you like this? And if it's you that's driving this, self-aware, kudos, I guess, way to poke your own bear. And like, just like Tyrion says, whenever he was talking about, I think, what was it, Bran asked him how he can let people, how he can deal with, people talking about him, and he was like, let it be your armor, because if you do, they can't, what they say won't hurt you. I guess that's a Game of Thrones reference that went over y'all's head.
Oh yeah.
I
only saw that episode. I only saw that season once, and I don't know. It's been years.
Well, I mean, so I haven't rewatched Game of Thrones. I've watched it like the one through, right, as it was coming out. But when he said that, I was like, damn, that was deep. I respect that. Whatever that whole thing, like when he said like don't let words hurt you, let them use them as your armor and they will never hurt you. It was like, okay, Tyrion, small man with big words. Okay.
Jamie Tart from Ted Lasso said it better. He's like, it's just Pope. I was like, it's just Pope. All the like the insults and stuff. Let him rumble.
Yeah, I don't know. Like that one's more comedic, I guess, whereas his is like deep.
Yeah,
like, it's fucking. It cuts deep, and you're just like, oh, was not ready for that. But there's a lot of things that happen in Game of Thrones that you find yourself like, oh, I wasn't ready for that.
Oh yeah, any of those.
Or like, oh damn, I wasn't ready for that. Sheesh. Those eggs are hatching right now? Okay. All right. I'm into this. How you doing?
Start questioning life, like, why am I enjoying this?
It's like, huh? Wait, what? What are we watching? I thought this was this is Game of Thrones. Okay, all right. I think that kind of molded a lot of TV too, like a lot of because how big Game of Thrones was. Like you gotta think, Game of Thrones and The Walking Dead when they first came out were phenomenons.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I was a huge Walking Dead fan.
Like I like them both. I will say, have you watched any Walking Dead, Brandon?
Yeah, Talia and I used to watch it every Thursday at a pizza place. It was like our thing, like
So-
watch the new episode of Walking Dead.
So for me, I got distracted at the Negan introduction.
Mm,
Do y'all remember that when
Yeah.
Negan was introduced and what happened during
Yeah.
said introduction?
right.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
from there, I kind of was. It's not that happened, like turned me away from it. It was I was watching it pretty religiously, and then I guess something shiny came along, and that's where I said, "Ooh, piece of
I
candy."
could say, I want to say I could say the same because I was a huge fan watching it every Sundays, and then I guess when that episode with Negan came out, I'm like, something just died out for me. Either I got distracted or I just didn't like how it happened.
Well,
it didn't make
I
it.
thought
It didn't
I
make it
remember
to
that
Negan.
part being like captivating. Like, oh shit! It wasn't that what happened. It wouldn't have been that because I was interested to see where it was going. For me, it was more, ooh, piece of candy. I can guarantee that's what it was. Or it was more Game of Thrones. Okay. Sword and sorcery. I'm in. Say less. Post apocalypse. That's fine. Whatever. We'll come back to that. Game of Thrones, though.
Yeah,
And
because there was a
then-
huge like zombie craze, like everything was like zombie related movies, TV shows,
Yeah.
books.
And-
It was just all zombies. Like, oh, I'm so tired of hearing about it. Zombie
Wasn't-
5Ks.
Wasn't before that like Heroes? Y'all remember that show on NBC?
Yeah,
The first season of that was
Was amazing.
bomb.
yeah.
It went
I loved it.
downhill. It went downhill fast.
That was during the writer's strike after what, season 5 or 4, maybe?
I think there was only
Fun.
3 or 4 seasons.
Oh, was
Yeah.
it? Yeah, I know
Yeah.
the last one was like writer's strike and what the
Yeah.
fuck?
I still to this day, when I still use the quotes "Yatta" and Nissan Versa, like because Hero does the "Yatta" and he's talking adamantly about this Nissan Versa that he saw in the future. And it's like I'm like, oh, okay. And I don't know why, but literally those like quotes are like what stuck with me.
Yeah, I guess that was the one that still sticks with me because I still say, even like watching like another like Asian show, even it's not even part of Japanese, like Korean, I still say like yatta, even though it's like the right language. It just makes it funny.
He's a good character.
Oh yeah, he was really written well. Nathan was not. Peter was pretty good. I liked his powers more than I liked him himself because I was very interested as to how they were going to write that.
The sponge.
Him being like, yeah, the sponge, the empath, the man that can absorb your powers and use them.
Yeah.
Or that's what they called it, empathy powers or whatever. He can feel what you're feeling. He can have what you have. And I think for me, where I started trailing off with that show was when they introduced Peter and Nathan's father. If y'all remember that, he was basically one for all. If you know,
I remember very.
yeah. I mean, do y'all My Hero Academia? If y'all have seen any of that, One for All, y'all know what he does.
Yeah.
That's basically what their father was.
I don't know, getting to that part, man. You need to rewatch it. Tell
I
him
mean,
Peacock.
yeah, like after season 1 is like kind of downhill. That's why I was just trying to remember what happened because it was
you
so
just watch
bad.
those first 25 episodes and you'll be like, oh, okay, this is good. And you start getting to 26, 27, you're like, huh, okay. Yeah, we'll just keep going.
Yeah, just riding the train.
Oh, what is this? When you get to the carnival bullshit, you're like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah. Okay, that part I remember. I'm like, all right,
Yeah,
what's going
Yeah.
on?
Mr. Earthquake, dude. Like, come on, man. Though I liked him as a character, and the person who played him, I thought did really well, but the writing wasn't great around it. But wasn't. Was a little. There's some questions there. I don't know. Like, what's a show that you guys like that? Like a show outside of like Walking Dead and Game of Thrones. What's one that y'all have fond like go tos that was like a craze that you like at the end? Like it turned out it was great at the beginning. Like all of those shows that we just named, Game of Thrones, first 6 seasons, fantastic. We won't talk about those last 2. Walking Dead all the way up into for us all the way up until Negan's situation where
Have
it
y'all
started
seen-
being repetitive.
Have you ever seen Chuck with Zachary Levy, the Shazam guy?
Chuck, is that the one where he's like a detective?
Yeah, he's like a special agent.
Yeah, and he pretends he's like psychic, but he just really reads a room well.
Not remember that part, but I really
is that not
enjoyed
it?
watching his show. It was
He
pretty
had
good.
like a sidekick. I don't know what his name was.
Yeah, that's the
Or
show
am I
called
thinking-
Psych, right?
Oh, that's Psych. I'm thinking of Psych. That's
Yeah,
what.
you're thinking
Okay,
Psych.
yeah. Okay. Then what was Chuck?
Yeah,
Chuck, he was like he worked in like an electronic store, and then he was like a super agent at the same time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't see that. Was it good?
That's a pretty good, cool show. I watched it all the way.
What about you, Tony?
I don't know. That's a good one.
Okay, how about this? What's a show that everybody was widely thought was bad, but you thought was good? Like you enjoyed it. You don't agree. Give me that hot
Sabrina?
take.
Sabrina, was that
The
bad?
one on
I liked
Netflix?
it.
The one on
Yeah,
Netflix?
I love that
dude,
one.
I fuck that. I fucking love that show, dude. I fuck with that.
Yeah, I like how dark it was. I love that.
Yeah, I was a fan. Like, don't get me wrong. I watched Sabrina the Teenage Witch when what's her name in the afternoons. I can't. What was her name? You know who I'm talking about, though, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But I really liked this one because if I'm thinking witches and like mythology and shit like that, this is what I'm looking for. Dark, and it bleeds into the witchcraft and wizardry and stuff like that. Like, think about it. What were your favorite Harry Potter movies? Was it the ones towards the end of the series, or was it the ones at the beginning? Don't get me wrong, you loved them all, but which ones were the ones that jumped out to you? Where shit got real and things were dark.
Yeah,
Like,
I was like was it the Deathly Hollows or like what's before that one? Yeah,
you got
Deathly Hollows was part 2 or part 1 and 2, right?
Yeah, Deathly Hollows are the one and 2, which were 6 and 7. What was it? 5 was the I think Order. Goblet of Fire, Order of the Phoenix,
Order of Phoenix.
Yeah, and then Prisoner of Azkaban. Oh, number 6 and 7 are Deathly Hollows.
Oh, was it?
Because there's 7 books.
Okay, gotcha.
How did you say Azkaban?
I say it just like I say it like that. I say it like that for a reason.
Azkaban.
Yeah, the first Harry Potter, and then like the last one's like that was just huge turnaround. It's all jolly, happy, and then when you watch like towards the end, I was like, "What the hell?
It's real life.
Dying.
It's real life. Oh no." Yeah, exactly. And honestly, those are probably some that like leave some of the like biggest things in your mind because you enjoyed those moments, but you also cherish those because of the people that you. That's the reason why I really like whenever I'm watching a show that there's like character development, right? Like they give you a backstory on a character, they give you flashbacks to a character as you're watching the show, because what does that do? It builds your relationship with that character. You understand that character, and if something happens to that character, it's going to affect you, right? How about this, Dobby? Are you telling me that you didn't like grow an attachment to Dobby in the second movie and then over time you're like, come on.
No.
Yeah, come on. What? Yeah,
He just
you got
wanted a sock.
he got it.
Yeah.
He was a free elf, bud. On his way out, he was a free elf.
I
But
need to go back and rewatch the movies.
they are on Peacock right now.
Yeah.
Oh, they are. I
Yeah,
remember they
all of
were
them
on
are Peacock.
HBO before.
Yeah, they're all on Peacock right now.
Man, that's sad.
So
I didn't get to watch any of that during the holidays. I usually do watch Harry Potter during the holidays.
I do too. I started watching it the other day and I kind of got distracted because I got busy, but I was on the second movie, and that's what made me think about it. But Brandon, what about you? What's a hot take movie or show that you thought was really good, but a lot of people were like, nah, that was bad? I probably have a lot of them, but I got one on the top of my I got one at the top of my head because I go to movies and watch shows for what they are. They're to entertain me. I'm not a critic. I'm somebody who is going to watch a show or a movie to be entertained.
I mean, it kind of surprised me how fast the price on the Blue Beetle movie went down. And whenever that happens, is because either people didn't buy it or it wasn't good. So, but I really enjoyed that movie. So I guess that counts as one.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything about it, whether it was good
Right,
or bad.
exactly. Yeah,
So-
I'd say commercials for it, but I never hear no hype about it. Like, was it good? Was it bad? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, for me, this one is going back to a show we talked about earlier, but Cowboy Bebop. A lot of people hated that show, but I was like, the show was literally the show. Like every episode of the live action was the anime. I thought if you were to play them side by side, you're basically getting the same thing, except one's live action and one's animated. So I was watching it and I was like, they did a great job. And I'm reading all the things. They're like, huh? You guys hated this? I thought they did a great job. Hold them up together. Like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? I don't get it. But like, it's stuff like that. And there's probably a few anime that I'm up there, like how widely hated Sword Art Online. And I'm like, I can't hate on it. It was, for me, it was one of the first of its kind that really like jump started the genre that is called isekai, which is you're being trapped in you die by Truck-kun and you're sent to another world.
Oh,
And
I've heard that. Yeah, I just don't know what that means.
yeah,
Makes sense
isekai
now.
is overpowered character in another world, essentially. So like think Kirito, he's really strong because he's a solo player and he's in another world, in another world, which is the Sword Art Online, where they're trapped, and if they try to log out, they literally die. So I enjoyed that first season of Sword Art Online. I even enjoyed the second season. It was basically the first season, but in a different like world, and I still enjoyed it. I was kind of on the third season, which was like a gun world, Gun Gale Online. It was a different feel, but it was all right. I didn't hate it, and I like a few of those type of animes. I watch them because I'm entertained. And if there's a decent story behind it, or if I can get connected to a character, then I enjoy it. Like one of my favorite anime is Future Diary. The Future Diaries. It's only 25 episodes long. A lot of people know it for Yuno Gasai, but she wasn't the relatable character. I just thought the premise of the show was really good. It's a death game between 12 people, and the last person alive wins and takes over as the time god, the god of time, which is Deus Machina in that. And it's like, oh, well, fuck yeah. And they all have different ways of like knowing things. Like they all had these cell phones, and then the cell phones kind of guided them through who was who or what was going to happen. Or they all had special, like they had like the cell phone of the future, what's going to happen in the future, and it's up to you to change that future or stuff like that. And I don't, it's only 25 episodes. I always wanted another season of it because I liked it a lot, but that's just me. Apparently not many people liked it, or it wasn't a long rung of manga, but I enjoyed it.
Tony,
Yeah,
do you watch
I don't know.
anime?
Watch it here and there, but I'm not like I don't say a huge fan of it. Like I don't watch it all the time, but I've heard some things about it here and there. I have it in my list. I just need to watch it because I know that some of them are invested, but like what Billy just said, some of them are just really short. There's like 25 episodes or 10 episodes.
Those are the ones I try to show Brandon so he can get through them fast and go back.
Yeah, that's why I need to go through them. Like some of them are like pretty short. Like, all right, this is pretty short. I need to go through them.
Yeah, you should.
Jujutsu Kaisen's
Billy,
ending soon.
you should give Tony a list of like animes for the week, and then we can talk about animes the next
Are
episode.
we gonna have like the anime club instead of like it's gonna be like a book club, but we have choose an anime and we like anime a week and we go over and we talk about it. I mean, I'm down. I've probably seen the ones that I'm going to tell you guys to watch, but hey, I'm down. I'll watch them again.
To watch High School DxD.
I'm not telling you if I'm going to give an anime recommendation, it's going to be a good one, okay, or one that I consider to be a good one. Like, I know. I'm gonna make y'all cry. I'm gonna make y'all cry with the first one. God. Like let's get it. I'll make y'all shed some tears. All right.
I mean, I say my anime is very limited, but I know about them. But shows I watch is like Hunter x Hunter.
Oh yeah,
Attack on Titan.
Okay, yeah, just with that, yeah. I think we're good for the next episode.
I mean, that's Hunter x Hunter. It's so good.
I watched the whole Hunter x Hunter as well.
Well, hold on. So I'm gonna check, but I'll give you one to watch. It's a short one. Like it's like 20 episodes. It's pretty fucking short, and its story is a mixture of cute and real. Like it's like real. It's not a like a story that's like, oh, that could never happen. No, it's oh shit, this could be a thing. This person that made this or wrote this, they could have lived this life. This could be them. This could be their way of like telling that story.
What is it? Evangelia?
I'm not gonna give y'all Evangelion. But if you have
that shit is depressing.
Well, I'm not gonna give that show to you guys because it's also kind of long. So
I mean, it's a pretty good show. It's just so depressing. Like, oh my god.
Yeah. So there's 22 episodes, and it's called Your Lie in April. I've told Brandon about this show, and Aaron has watched this. Aaron has watched this entire thing. He can vouch for me. He's seen it all. Telling you, watch it. It's on Hulu. 22 episodes.
You got homework, Tony.
Your Lie in April.
Not in May, not in June, April.
Yep. I'm telling you, if you start getting into you sit down, you get into it, you watch it, and you're gonna get connected to those characters pretty quickly, and you're gonna start seeing some stuff that's gonna happen, and you're gonna want to watch it to the end to see if what you think is gonna happen happens. I won't tell you if it does or doesn't. But
jeez. So like something I should watch it at work.
I'm going to tell you right now. Enjoy the ride. And it's also one of those. It's also one that it is safe for work. It is a very safe for work anime. You can watch this around people. Brandon.
No, I'm just saying, like, would I be crying if I cried to go back in my shift? Like, what do you want to cry about? Like, my food was good.
It was so good. It was so good. No. I mean. Nah, you should be fine. You should be fine. You should be fine. I'm gonna stick to should be fine.
Should be fine.
Yeah, should be fine. I won't give y'all all of the ones that are like this. If I give y'all ones pretty here and there, but I will say there are a few of these that I'm not ashamed to say that I cried during this one. It fucking hit me right in the fucking money maker. Like I was like, okay, all right. But I loved it.
I loved cutting onions.
But I loved it. Like somebody threw some dirt in my eyes, man. It was one of those you're looking around like nobody's around. All right, box of tissues. Okay, whatever. Fuck you guys.
I didn't know I had feelings.
I am a real boy.
I think this is a good transition for the next episode. But,
Yeah, we'll make Aaron rewatch that for his memory because we all know that's not very good.
yeah, we gotta get a punishment for Aaron too, because he really
Didn't
flaked
show
on
up.
us. We're like, get him some
Yeah.
frosted flakes.
Yeah, y'all could get a punishment for my internet service provider too. You know, that'd be a good one.
For real.
Aaron's getting a write up right now for missing one episode.
Oh,
You gotta buy the podcast lunch.
yeah, we got he fat knee on him.
Oh hell yeah, let's go.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for listening, and I just wanna plug in our Instagram here, Borderline Banter Brews, or our TikTok, Borderline BB Podcast. I didn't notice that I misspelled borderline, so just type in board without the E. Borderline Banter Brews. I mean, Borderline BB Podcast, and yeah, you should be able to find us, or just search Borderline Banter Brews Podcast, and it'll pop up.
Didn't you spell
We also
check?
have. I know I didn't notice until I put in, because I've been fighting TikTok support for our TikTok because we've been shadow banned.
Are you throwing down?
Yes, I've been going back and forth with them, but the first I was getting robots, and now I'm getting the actual support team. So hopefully we get somewhere. But we also have a website, borderlinebanterbros.com. So check us out. We have blogs. I'm gonna try to force Tony and Billy to start writing blogs because it's only been me.
I was gonna say you have a blog.
Yeah, I don't have to write much. Just be like, oh, I woke up today.
Done. All right.
That's all
Yeah,
I
done.
need.
That's all they say. All right.
All right. Billy's gonna say like I woke up today. I'll put like I went to bed.
Yeah,
All right.
here we go. I slept.
All right. I guess we'll call it Banter Bros out.
Later.